Okay, so factoring is basically going backwards from multiplying polynomials. And there's going to be three types of factorings that you'll see. One is factoring by GCF, which is greatest common factor. And greatest common factor just means what is the biggest number that can divide out of all terms. You want to look at number one, what number comes out. And then you also want to look at what variable comes out. And what I mean by comes out is that you'll set it up like a distributive property type scenario. So then you would have something that looks like this. If you had something that says 4x squared y plus 12y, and then I told you to factor out, then what you would want to do is, number one, what comes out is what number comes out. So if you look at 4 and 12, 4 comes out of both. So you put 4 under here of a fraction. And then you would move on to what variable comes out. So you have to have a variable on both terms for it to come out. You'll see that this x squared is only present in that term. There is no x squared on the other term. However, there is a y here and there is a y here. So you could take a y out of both like this. And the way then you rewrite that is 4y, whatever you divided out comes out of the parentheses, and in the parentheses is the division of what's left over. 4 divided by 4 basically cancels out. The x squared, you didn't do anything with it, so I bring it down into the parentheses, and the y's cancel out, so nothing there. Then on the other term, 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then your y's cancel out. How do you know if you did it right? Well, if you go back and multiply these back together by the distributive property, then you would get the original answer. And so if you do 4y times x squared, it's 4x squared y, or 4yx squared, doesn't matter the order there. And if you multiply 4y times 3, you're going to get 12y. And you can see how this is the same as the original one. So to summarize factoring by GCF, you divide out a number and you divide out a letter. So if I come back over here to the problem and I pick a hard one, let's say I pick number 5. You put a fraction line under each one of these and you see what is the number that I can take out of that. Is it 12? Is it 8? What is it? It's 8. And so once you take that 8 out, you have to see, is there any kind of letter that or variable that I could take out? You'll see that you have an x, y here, just a y here, and nothing here. So you cannot take a variable out because there's not one common variable among all three terms. So all you can take out of this one is 8. What's left over is 72 divided by 8 is 8. Sorry, 9 xy. 56 divided by 8 is 7. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. That's it. That's all you can do in that one. In this other one, number 6, when you put your fraction line and see what divides out of all of these, which is going to be 7, notice that there are letters present in all terms. So you could see how you have an x, x, and x, and you have a y, y, and y. So you could take out an x, y out of all of them. Now the exponents also have something to do here. If you have an x squared like you have here and here, that's the smallest exponent for the x. That's the most you can take out. You can't take out anything more than the smallest exponent in the original problem. It's like trying to take out more than you have. It doesn't make sense. So you can only take out the exponent of the lowest original for that variable. In that case, it's x squared. If you look at the y's, you have a y to the fourth power here, but here you just have a y and a normal y. So the only y you can take out is a y among all of them. So this fraction part has to be the same for all three terms. It cannot be different. So you put that outside the parentheses, you open the parentheses, and then you start to factor out the letters and the numbers. So 49 divided by 7 is 7. X squareds cancel because these are the same. Y to the fourth to the y becomes y to the third, because one y is canceling one y here, leaving you with only y to the third. Or you could think that you're subtracting the exponents. 56 divided by 7 is 8. X to the fourth and x squared. If you have an x squared down here, it's taking out two of the x's here, so it leaves you only with x squared. The y's cancel out because they're the same. 35 divided by 7 is 5, and then the x squareds and the y's cancel, so basically that's your answer.